Hello and welcome to the Cameron and Tia Show. Today I am answering one of our most frequently asked questions, which is how we handle payments. I'm going to break down the structure, the program that we use, how we send reminders to clients with overdue payments, all of the things, payments, and how we take money into our business. So let's jump right into it. Okay, first, the program that we use. We use Honeybook. If you don't know anything about Honeybook, it's a CRM, so it's how we manage all of our back and forth between clients. It houses our contracts, our payments, what we're talking about today, and all of our correspondence. If you have any questions about Honeybook, I'm going to put a link up above where you can see all of our favorite features about Honeybook and get a great intro to the program. So Honeybook is literally a lifesaver because it takes the payments right through there. Yes, there is a credit card fee because I know that's going to be the question. There's a credit card fee for everywhere. If you are using legitimate sources to take your payments, there's going to be a credit card fee. So accept that, budget that into your cost of doing business so that then you're charging enough to cover that. Don't make it inconvenient for clients and make them have to send you checks or something to try to avoid that. But Honeybook takes payments. It also has payment reminders that you can automatically set up, and you just tie them in with your client's contract. So in your client's contract, you set up a payment schedule, and I'm going to show you what that looks like here. And you're able to break down when the payments are due, and then they can pay credit card, debit card, or bank draft right through Honeybook. They can also set if there are subsequent payments. So we have 2 payments in all cases. Their second payment they can set for auto pay, which is amazing. And then it gets deposited right into our account. So you just set that up through Honeybook. It technically goes through Stripe as the payment processor, but it makes it super, super easy. Okay, number 2 is how do we structure our payments? So we structure our payments that there's always first a non-refundable deposit. With that language, it is always non-refundable. What that deposit does is it's for any work leading up to the session or to the wedding, but it also holds that date or reserves that time, or specifically really for weddings, it holds that date so that we don't book any other clients. So that's the non-refundable deposit. Sometimes you'll hear that called retainer. Depending on your state, you should look up the language that you should use for that. We use non-refundable deposit. So that's the first payment. That holds their date. They are officially booked once they've paid that and once they've signed a contract. We make that very clear in all of our communication that you need both things. We've never really had problems with that though, and I think that's because we're clear and upfront. We'll see a lot of people posting in Facebook forums about these people have signed the contract but haven't paid the deposit. Well, the great thing in Honeybook is that it literally shows that your first payment in that payment schedule, and then it shows the entire contract, and it's not booked until it has both those things. So that makes it really, really easy. And then again, we've never really had a problem with that because we're very clear. Do these 2 steps and then you're officially booked. We're officially your photographers. The second payment is then a final payment, and the timing of that depends upon what type of session it is. If it's a wedding, it's due 1 month before their wedding date. For most of our sessions, it's due 2 weeks before it. One thing to note is our seniors work a little bit differently. We actually have 1 payment for our seniors. And so that's $600. They pay $600 up front. The only reason being is the system that we use to book our seniors is very automated, and it's through Acuity, and it makes it a lot more simple if that's not tracking multiple payments. It doesn't really have the capability to do that as sleek as Honeybook, and we want that to be able to use Acuity because they can just book time slots. So it literally takes all of that communication out of our hands. So that's one separate thing. They pay everything up front. It's also because our seniors open on April 1st and they sell out. We typically take about 75 seniors and they will sell out. And so we want them to just pay in full, not have to worry about anything else. But for an investment like a wedding, we understand that it makes sense to have those payments split up. With the final payment, we let them know that it's just due anytime up until 1 month before their wedding. So they can pay it at any time. If they choose, they can let us know if they want to split up their payments more. So let's say their final payment is $2,700, which is the case for currently our weddings. They can then split it up to be pay $2,000 in January and pay $700 in August, the 1 month before their wedding. They just have to let us know that, and I'll kind of show you that right here. That with Honeybook, we just have to divide it up that way, and that's no problem. We just need the final payment 1 month before. We used to have a final payment 2 weeks before, which is a little bit stressful. We wanted it to be close to the date. We didn't want them to have to feel like they had to shell out all the money before anything had really even happened. But One time we got into a sticky situation where a bride just wasn't being respondent, and that could have, I mean, it wasn't a bad client whatsoever. It could have just been that she's super busy right before her wedding. And we understand that. So many things demand bride and groom's times right before their wedding. And so in that case, we were like, let's just push it a little bit farther so that we can kind of get that over with. They can feel like, ooh, that's done. Now I can continue planning my wedding. And then the last piece is what I'm showing you here in Honeybook is that it's super easy to just auto pay. And so then Honeybook will just pull out from their card on file. It sends them an email notifying them, hey, you set this up the day before, like the day before when their payment is due. So if it's on January 1st, it sends it on December 31st. We're going to pull at this time, and then it auto pays and they don't even have to worry about it. So that's a great peace of mind, great for your customer experience. Okay, number 3, how we handle discounts. Who you choose to give a discount to or whether you do discounts or not is totally up to you. You make that choice on your own. Separate from that, I want to talk about how we handle it. When we're giving discounts, and I'm going to explain 2 different situations in which we personally may give discounts, we want to still show them what this service is worth. We don't want them thinking, for example, like for a sibling or something, that our packages are only worth this much, our time is only worth this much, versus it may be worth 3 times that amount. So what we do in Honeybook, and I'll show it to you here, is we'll put the normal package set up and it'll have everything included that we normally include. It'll show that price, and then at the bottom, it shows a discount. So this is just an example of a package and a discount. And so then they're able to see, wow, not only am I getting this amazing value because look at what this is normally worth, but they're also getting to see like what you've done for them, how much that discount is like really worth, you know, just not just the numbers, but like the worth of it. So that's really great for like keeping the value there while still offering a discount if you feel that that is just. So there are 2 ways that we may offer discounts. The first is probably most common for close or for family, close friends. Obviously, you draw the line, you figure out what makes sense. We have done things like for friends where we'll gift an engagement session to them, and that'll be our wedding gift to them. Obviously, the price point of that is a little bit more than we would spend typically for a good friend's wedding gift because that's a little bit hefty, but it's amazing because that's just really our time, and that's something that we can offer them. Of course, then we prefer not to photograph our close friends' weddings. It allows us to enjoy them. And so then we encourage them to use their wedding photographer for an engagement session as well. So it's just kind of a bonus engagement session for them. But that's an example. Obviously, again, you draw the line. So you figure out what makes sense for you. Siblings, we give discounts to, everything like that. The second scenario is if a wedding comes along that's at a venue that we have never been to, we are so excited to go there, it looks absolutely amazing, and normally we would charge a travel fee to it. We might then waive that travel fee because we really want to book that. So let's just waive that travel fee. That's something little, that's something extra. But again, we make it clear to them. We say, normally we would have a travel fee up to Alexandria, but we really want to go to this venue, so we're going to waive that travel fee. Don't even worry about it. In addition, there's a venue that's 2 hours away from us that we do charge 2 nights hotel stay. Typically so that we can stay the night before and the night of. That just makes it easier on us. We don't have kids at home and then the both of us are there. So it's not like a draw of like we need to get home that night. We'd rather stay there. And so what we'll do in that case is for that venue, we'd love to shoot out there every year. And if that opportunity hasn't rolled around yet, we'll let them know, hey, we're going to waive this. Just make it a 1-night hotel stay. Normally it's 2 nights, but let's waive it. That feels like something really gracious to them. But in addition, you're not really, you're losing out on your time, and your time is extremely valuable. But that's a great way to approach discounts for things that you really want to make happen. And sometimes for us in the wedding industry, that makes sense for us. And that makes sense for our growth. Okay, number 4 is how we remind people that payments are due. Now here is where Honeybook is literally a game changer. When it's getting close to when their final payment is due, when it's 7 days out, and you can set these time frames, but for us, we have it set at 7 days out, it sends them a payment reminder. So it sends them a reminder that says, in 7 days, your payment is due, go ahead and pay this at any time. Or if they have auto pay, it reminds them that auto pay is going to pull out, and that's just the day before, because there's not really any action needed for them. Now here's the key. It looks like this. And the amazing thing about these auto reminders is, they're automatic. They're set through Honeybook. It literally keeps track of that for you. So you're not having to keep a spreadsheet of when people's payments are due. Oh, that is just so stressful. It keeps track of it for you. But B, you'll see in this email that it looks like it's coming from Honeybook. Honeybook is reminding them. And the amazing thing about this is we want to remove ourselves from any conversation about money. We want to build this friendship with our clients. We want to have this client experience that's impeccable, chef's kiss for them. And so by removing ourselves out of money conversations, that just makes it so much easier. This is clearly us. Like, they know that it's us. They're on our Honeybook portal and they know that we have conversations on Honeybook, but it makes it seem like it's just this automated message. It's not us having to say, oh my gosh, hey, have you gotten a chance to pay yet? Hey, I saw that you haven't paid yet. Can you do that for me real quick? That's awkward, and that just brings stickiness into the conversation that doesn't need to be there. In addition, then, if payments are late, which they rarely are because Honeybook reminds them, Honeybook will also, you can set it to do a countdown, so it could be send an email 7 days before if they still haven't paid, send it 3 days before if they still haven't paid, send it on the day that it's due. At that point, people are going to pay, right? But if it is late, it continues sending them email reminders. It will also notify you then if you have a late payment, which is once in a blue moon. I feel like with our 75, with all these clients that we have, that'll be maybe once a year. And then once people get a late reminder and they see that, they're like, oh, I am paying that right away. So it not only removes you from the process, you're not having to constantly check up on people, redraft emails, but it also removes you from the stickiness of the taboo of money talk. So that's what's absolutely amazing about Honeybook. Literally game changing. I love that feature. If you have any more questions about payments, how we structure them, anything that we chatted about today, drop us a comment down below. I'll hit you up in that comment section, answer anything that you have. If you're interested in Honeybook, the program that I've talked about today, that is literally a game changer, a lifesaver, that I've showed you all of these little screenshots of, we have a code down below that gets you 50% off your entire first year. It is nuts. It also has a free trial in there so that you can give it a try. I will say it's a bit overwhelming, so check out that video that I popped up top for you, so that you can see what Honeybook generally looks like, see how it could benefit you. There's a learning curve, but then once you get settled in it, it feels so good. It does the work for you, which that's everything we want, right? So until next time, bye.